Good morning, all students. Welcome back here to the Talent and Knowledge Management class. So we were discussing in the last class about retaining the talent management. Due to some technical problem, we have stopped there. So let us go back to the our slide where we were discussing about the retaining of the talent management. Okay, so I think we have uh, discussed about all those things. We were discussing about the choosing the right location, giving right location to attract and retain the talent. So I was giving example. If two positions are there, say for example in Bangalore and Chennai for a sales manager heading the sales office, so the person from the Chennai would be given preference to choose his hometown, so that his personal life, work-life balance will be managed. So if he posted to Bangalore and a Bangalore person is posted to Chennai, so the role and responsibility and the designation are same. So it will be you create misbalance in the work life. So that's why what we try to achieve is here in certain situations, we have to give them a preference to choose their location of work. Sometimes it is better in international business if the local person is handling the local country or key position would be better because he knows, understand the uh, local environment, business environment better than the a person who is from outsider of the country. A similar concept will be applicable in the domestic environment also. If a person is from a particular place, if you give him a role, if you give him a place, we place him in a particular the same hometown, so he would be performing better than he would be performing in the other place. If that is not possible, your company strategies or policies are not like that, or your the nature of the product or nature of the business you do, which is not like we have to recruit the people from the different places and we have to make them work in a other place. If that is the nature of your business you're doing or a nature of a product which you're producing or a service you're giving, so in that case you have to select the person who is flexible and who is not get frustrated of the work life balance. Okay, this is how we uh, do about this point, that choosing the right location to attract and retain the right talent. Okay? That's why whenever we are recruiting, we recruit from the local place for the local position. Okay. Next one is providing proper training, development, and succession planning. In the previous video, also I was discussing about succession planning. Succession planning is nothing but preparing your talent or preparing your people resource resource to assume the roles as they available. Means any developing a new leader who can replace the old leader when old leader leave the organization or retire or die, so that yes, through succession planning you we can make a person prepared to occupy that role. Okay, so that's why we give them training and development to meet the future uncertain future requirement. Okay, so let me go to the next point, provide a proper research facility. So the people who are talented or key people leaders we say, so for them we have to give the research facility. We've talked about it in the earlier classes also, like every uh, department, every person should be given a space for creative thinking. It is not like it is only a responsibility of a research and development department or a marketing department to think about the better product or a better quality or a better work process. Okay, so here we can say that if we provide every person a space of creative thinking, uh, leisure time he may use in the organization, find any leisure time he may use that time for creating creative thinking. He can indulge or she can indulge himself or herself in a research facility. That would be a contribution to the company in return. Okay. We should not. Next point says that balance of age, race, gender, and color while recruiting, or while selecting for the training purpose, or while selecting for the development purpose, or in the performance appraisal, or you're providing any incentives, or promotions, demotions. In such situation, we have to manage, like fair and equitable process, fair and equitable and transparent process in our organization. So we have to balance according to the age, race, gender, or color. There should not be any discrimination in promoting or in selecting, recruiting, placing in any kind of activity or performance appraisal, or for incentive purpose. We should not do any discrimination that this person is from Tamil Nadu, I'm a manager from Tamil Nadu, okay, he'll be promoted next as a team lead, or he's a Kannadiga, he's from my state, so I have to promote him to the next position. This should not happen in any organization. So without any discrimination, we have to balance everything in our organization while making HR policies, or to make HR policies make perform well, okay, in performance appraisal, or paying incentive, or promoting or demoting. In such situation, we have to avoid discrimination based on age, race, gender, or color. Okay. Next point says that create challenging environment or excitement in jobs. So in the last video also we were discussing a bit about it. So employees who are in the key positions, they look for the challenging environment, because they are not the labor class people or workers who are working on a routine type of business, routine type of activity, that producing the product, performing with the machineries, or sitting with the computer and doing calculations like accountants do. They are not doing this. They are the people who involve in strategic development of organization, who are involved in long-term plans, decision making process. So these are the people who cannot follow the routine type of business. So if they are doing a routine type of work, means they'll be, there is a one point where they feel exhausted and they want to quit this job. Maybe your organization is good, but the job is boring, job is not giving any challenges or excitement to them. So in that case, what we have, they'll do that. They look for the better, opportunity where they can exhibit their talent better than the, your current boring job. So in such situation, we have to create them a, give them some assignments, assign them to some projects where new challenges are there, which excites them to perform more and more, better and better. So such type of environment we have to create in an organization, so that they should not leave our organization because of one particular one particular reason. So that the job is not exciting them or not engaging them in organization. Next one is communicate candidly without fear of reprisal. So candidly means you have to be very frank in communicating their appraisal, whether they are uh, performing well or not performing well, whether he is a key person or a normal employee. We have to be fair and equitable to everyone. So if performance is not meeting the standards, or not meeting the expectation what we had while recruiting that particular candidate or a person, that time we have to communicate with him that what expected from him, out of him, which is not performed by him. So by doing this, they may feel the fear of reprisal. Reprisal meaning here, the word meaning here, it is an act of uh, retaliation. You may say in simple word, retaliation means counterattack. Okay, so management may feel that if we have hired him by showing so much interest, we followed him for so many days and we convinced him to join our organization. Once he joined, we felt that he is not performing what expected out of him. uh, uh, in that situation, you can communicate to him that what is expected out of you is not achieved from you. You without any fear of how he might react, or how aggressively he might react, or he might give a counter attack that I did not choose your organization, you followed me to choose you. So that kind of reprisal may happen, but without fear of that, uh, we have to convince that person to perform what is expected out of him. Okay, which is how we can expect a performance from the individual. Without communication, without communicating his loopholes or the weakness of his performance, we cannot get a good performance out of him, any candidate. Okay, next point is provide unassigned time to seed and cultivate ideas. So I was telling in discussing the proper research facility, I was telling like they can use the leisure time for research activity. So this point give boost to that first point, that is provide unassigned time to seed and cultivate ideas. If any employee by chance have any leisure time in organization, to be spending a time with unnecessary work, or he is having a passage of time in the organization, that time could be used for to improve the process or to improve the product, or some giving some ideas in participative management. We can give ideas to betterment of the organization. So this is unassigned time, we say. So better we can explain in work from home situation like this, in a situation like this pandemic lockdown, some organization are assigning the work which is running from out of running project. Some organization might not have any running project. For such employees, they don't have any work, just they log in the morning and just they sit. In such is for those people, the organization should encourage them to cultivate some, create some ideas, so become innovative, so that they can suggest to the organization in doing a better process or a better product or a service. Okay. Next one is create social bond with talent through adventure, sports, game, contests, parties, and celebration. Students, you might have seen or heard from your family members, or from neighbors, or your college seniors, or your spouse, or somebody, your siblings, might be working in an organization where monthly or weekly they'll be going out with the team members, with the company people, to some resorts to spend time, or to some restaurants to have dinner, or to some clubs to have parties. So, or having a tournament, cricket tournament, or hockey tournament, or a badminton tournament in the organization, they organize this to engage the employee to recreational activities in the organization, so that the people, the employees who are working in the organization should feel that this is my organization. I have friends here. I belong to the XYZ company's cricket club. I belong here. So next day when I wake up, I feel enjoy to go to my work. I feel happy that I'm in this profession and in this company. To create such type of social bonding, the organization should, engage them in some recreational activities, out of which is a routine work they are doing, or for what we are paying them. So that this kind of activities will make them a sense, will give them a sense of belongingness to the organization. So because of that, there will be a communication gap, what we find, hesitant to communicate with the superiors or with the own colleagues. That kind of hindrance can be eradicated when you try to bond them with such type of sports or cultural activities. or a celebration in an organization. So by doing all this, why do we are doing all this? To retain the talent again, right? So to retain the talent in our organization. So this is about the elements of talent management, what we are discussing in the from previous classes, that attract, develop, and retain the talent. This is basic elements of any talent management organization where it is following the talent and knowledge management. These are the basic elements which we have concluded today. Okay, moving onwards, we are going to discuss today about the purpose of talent management. Okay, why being an MBA student, MBA HR student, you have to learn the talent management subject. What is the purpose of an organization having a talent management? Already HR management, HR is a one a department which is there. Why do they have to again improvise themselves and call it as a talent management? And we have to hire a person who should handle this particular division in the HR department. So let us discuss this. So this is all. This is a kind of conclusive of all we what we have discussed till today. Let us see what is this one by one. First one is to complete effectively in a complex and dynamic environment to achieve sustainable growth. Okay, let us see what is sustainable growth first. Sustainable growth, student, means without any depletion of your resources. Resources may be environmental, social, or economical resources. If you are attaining the growth without any running into problems, which is called as sustainability in the growth. So when we call sustainability, we always think about ecological sustainability or environmental sustainability. Sustainability growth in the view of business organization is, so you are achieving the growth without running into any financial burden, or without running into any resource burden in the organization. So to make this happen, that your organization is sustainably growing in this kind of competitive environment, so we talent management will help us. Okay. uh, then to develop leaders for tomorrow within an organization. So this is about the succession planning which we were discussing from our previous class. So for the to prepare to assume the roles, future roles, we are developing leaders today in our organization. Okay, to occupy the tomorrow's role. Next one is to maximize employees' performance as a unique source of competitive advantage. So in the first class itself, we have discussed about what is competitive advantage. So competitive advantage is maybe your human resource or your talent in an organization. So to maximize this competitive advantage, and to achieve this competitive advantage, you have to maximize the performance of your employees. So you have to make your employee as a competitive advantage to your organization. Maybe your consumer reserves is a competitive advantage, or a product unique quality is your competitive advantage, or your distribution channel is your competitive advantage. Those might be a competitive advantage. But by looking at the human resource aspect, if you make your employee is a talented employee, as a resource, a talented resource, that would be a competitive advantage to your company. So that's why we practice talent management in any organization. Next one is to empower employees. How do we empower employees? By providing them training and development, by giving them space to research, time to think creative, uh, to learn new skills, to develop them for the next role. So this how we give them some authority, and responsibility and accountability, especially by giving this. What we do, we empower the people in our organization for the talent management will help us. Next on is by retaining, by attracting, developing, and retaining, we can cut down our turnover rates. Okay, in organization, the main the nature of organization, the nature of service organization, especially than the product organization. What we can see is the employee turnover is very turnover rate is very high. Okay, such type of organization, we can by using retaining strategies, we can cut down the rates. We can make them stay back in our organization. Then by doing this, by reducing the turnover rate, the cost of new recruitment will be reduced. Okay, so the if the uh, person leaves vacant the place in the organization, leaving by leaving vacant the place in the organization, to fill up that vacant post, we have to recruit, we have to select. That is consumes time, and as well the huge cost to our management. That's what we have to think about, all those things by how to reduce the turnover rates and how to reduce the cost. Okay, so talent management will help us in doing this, in achieving this objective. Okay, next we will see benefits of talent management. Okay, so benefits of talent management, if I want to tell you about, again, this is a thing which we have already discussed in previous classes. It is the same thing. So how talent is best recognized and rewarded, we have to think about that. So this is benefit to think this about this recognizing and rewarding the talent. This talent management process will help us. So reward should be, personalized rewards practices we should practice based on the performance. Like, it is not like a reward system which is applicable to everyone in an organization. It should not be there. So to retain the top talent, what we can do is we can personalize the rewards. Okay, all managers should be given some kind of incentives or some kind of fringe benefit by every quarter, at the end of every quarter, or the biannually, or at the end of our annual. This is, no, this is not the way we have to follow, because the top talent will expect something more from the organization based on their performance. That's why we have to personalize, and based on the preferences and priorities of each individual talent. Okay, that's why we can retain them. And first point, talk about right person in the right job. So this we have already discussed. Like a person who is having a certain set of skills and abilities, he should be given that kind of a place in the organization to match his skills and abilities. the, by doing this, that performance can be expected more from him. Okay, so better hiring process, I say that in attracting talent, we have discussed how to make a better hiring process in the organization. Okay, next one is understanding employees better. So how do you understand an employee better? By conducting some social activities with social bonding, I said. So sorry, I can say that you know in this thing, I can say that every person think the feeling of being count on me. Okay, so I think every person likes the feeling of being a count on me talent. What is count on me talent? Whenever the organization think of something better opportunity, some challenging work, something new is happening in the organization, every employee should feel that I should be the person who selected from the management to perform this project, to tackle this situation. So that kind of attitude should be developed in the organization. When this will happen, when we bond them socially, when we understand them, when we communicate freely, when we have a feedback situation, better feedback situation. So in that kind of things, we can understand the employee better, and the employee will tell that, okay, whenever the challenge or whenever the new things going in the organization, we can count on the organization can organization can count on me, or organization, I wish that my organization has to choose me. Okay, this is how we understand our employee better. Okay, the employee expect from us. So better professional development decision by doing succession planning, training and development. So this kind of activities of talent management, like succession planning and all, we can professionally develop the our people to occupy the next roles. So to take such kind of decision, talent management will help us. Okay. So to overall, if I want to tell the benefits of talent management includes, the recruitment, if you want to talk about. So in the top performing environment, to attract the top talent, the best talent flow to the companies to work for. So if your company is attracting the best talent, okay, so this performer may be influenced by the nature of work they are doing, the colleagues, the peers, and how media is reacting towards your organization, and how or why the lot of recruitment happening in your organization, what is the word of mouth publicity you have in the outside organization. So these in the industry, what is the position of your organization. By looking at all those things, we have to be, you have to make strategies to make a better advertisement or a better promotion of your organization in an industry or in a media, to attract the talent and recruit them. Okay, so that the talent should, there are competition in the industry to attract the talent from company to company. So that if you are attracting a company, a talent from company XYZ to ABC, so the ABC company should make sure that the talent should be, influenced to join an organization. Okay, so these are the better hiring, part of better hiring or attracting talents to the organization. So to do, again, to better professional development, we have to, always talent, the people who, with a high skill, with a high education, with a high experience, they always seek for a creative freedom. Okay, and the freedom of expression, freedom of performance. We cannot restrict them that this is your role. It starts from point A, you have to stop at point B. No, we cannot restrict them. We have to give them a freedom of expression, a freedom of performance, a freedom of creativity. Okay, so your organization might be, following an absolute method, which is from following from the many years. New talent which you have recruited recently and placed in that position, that person may give you a better create by creative thinking, by his, if you provide him a creative freedom, a creative expression or a creative performance option, so that person may, improve the process of doing the work. Okay, they improve your process of doing the work. It not be only improving the product qualities or improving the product feature, it may be a improved process also in your organization. If you are following a old method old method of activity in your organization, that can be replaced by new method, which will be suggested. If you give a freedom of expression to this person, so he'll be giving you a better uh, process in the organization. Okay, so by this, by providing this, a growth will be ensured for your organization as well as to the that particular talent. The talent comes to your organization with a personal objective, so you have to make sure that he or she is achieving his or her personal objective along with your organizational objective. So that growth is very important for both the parties involved here. So under supportive environment with the capable owners, manager, coaches, team members, all those things. If you provide this, so the person will perform better. So better environment to perform in, like better support system, good team. Okay, if you provide to that person, he will make your organization definitely a successful organization. Okay, so what are the focuses of talent management approaches? We have seen it means focus means scope. So it starts from the attracting the talent, that is nothing but recruitment, then retaining the talent, okay, then training and development, succession planning, what we said, leadership and high potential employees. High potential employee development means we have to motivate them to achieve their highest level of, you know, performance. So this is discussed in the very first class, that how we have to motivate the employee. He might not be knowing his highest potential ability, so we have to encourage them, a person to, you know, by giving him just I was talking, freedom of expression, freedom of thinking, freedom of performance. He can achieve the highest level of potential. Next one is performance management, where we have a fair and equitable, without any discrimination. If you do the performance appraisal system, that would give us, you know, performance management, that will cover performance management in talent management. Then workforce planning, that the particular employee, according to based on his skills and ability, we are placing him the right person to a right job. And we have talked about the place, location of the work where he want to do. So about this, we have to, you know, how many employees are required in a team, how many team members will be required for him to work under or work for. That will be workforce planning. If that kind of planning is possible from talent management. Okay, then in retaining, we have seen how to create a positive and supportive culture. So we have to support the employees, and by giving a good workable environment, a supportive culture, good feedback, or good communication, free flow of communication, freedom of expression, participative management. By these type of methods, we can, provide a positive culture and a supportive culture in an organization to perform. Okay, so these are, hope it covers the recruitment, retention, development, and to reach the high potential, how to reach the high potential of an employee, how to do the performance management in an organization, how to plan the workforce in your organization, how to develop a positive and supportive culture. All those things will be uh, 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 easy by adopting the talent management approach, uh, I would say. So this is all about today's class. So we have discussed about focus or a scope of talent management approach, benefits or importance of talent management in any organization, and we have discussed about what is the goal or objective or a purpose of talent management in any organization, why the talent management is important in any organization, what by which objective the talent management department is, talent management division is there in the HR department. Okay, this is what we discussed today. And we have discussed about retaining the talent, which is a continuation of the previous class. This is also we have seen. So thank you, students, today for listening to me, and I hope I was helpful in reaching you.